All right, we got less than 24 hours left until the MLS is back tournament, and here on Philly Sports Network, we have one more group to preview and break down, and of course, it is the biggest group of them all. That is Group A. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your boy, Barcelona Philly, and today we are going to preview what is Group A, where we have your Philadelphia Union. Let's get this started, guys. That's right. Welcome everyone to Philly Sports Network, your home for everything Philly sports. Again, I'm your boy El Parcero Philly, 1/5 member of the Duke by the River podcast, brought to you by PSN. Before we get started, do not forget to like this video and subscribe to Philly Sports Network for all your Philly sports needs. And of course, today is all about the final group that we have yet to talk about here in the MLS is back tournament, and that is Group A, where your Philadelphia Union, ladies and gentlemen, reside in this tournament here. And this is the only group that's going to have 6 teams compete in this group. And for the Union, it's at first when we saw the drawing, I like many fans were upset because I did not want to be part of that 6-team group. Like, you could only imagine the other teams that were going to be in that group, but thank God the soccer gods were behind us here and gave us a pretty formidable group. And let's talk about the teams that are in the group. So first off, in this group, we have, of course, your Philadelphia Union, the reigning Eastern Conference leaders from last season's regular season, NYCFC. We have Inter Miami, Orlando City Soccer Club, the Chicago Fire Football Club, and Nashville Soccer Club. And again, like the other group previews, we're going to start from last place to first place, my prediction of what this group will look like. And to start off with, in 6th place, I believe in Group A, we will have Nashville Soccer Club finish there. Nashville's going into we're in their first season, their inaugural season in the MLS, and listen, they played good in the first 2 matches, but could not get a single point in both of those matches, which is heartbreaking as a Nashville fan. But the big news here is that Nashville has yet to actually train in this Orlando tournament. They have some players who have tested positive for the coronavirus, and they are a little bit in a bad spot right now without training and having a match in the next couple of days. It's not looking good for Nashville SC. Right now, Nashville participation in this tournament is seriously in doubt. And a day after where Carlos Vela, the reigning MLS MVP, FC Dallas, the club, already pulled out of the tournament as well, Nashville might be that next team to say, hey, we might not be participating in this tournament, which would be another big blow to what seems to be a disastrous MLS restart. Even the match against Chicago Fire, their first match, got postponed back because of the fact that they have so many outbreaks going on right now. But regardless, guys, I have a job to do and I got to prepare you guys for this tournament. So we're going to still discuss what Nashville is going to do and what it's going to look like if it does happen. So obviously we don't know what players have tested positive for the coronavirus. The league has really been adamant of keeping those details a secret, which is understandable completely. But when you don't really know who has been affected by the virus, you really don't know what to expect or who it is that actually has the virus. It could be their best player, Randall Leal, I think, in my opinion, is the best player. If that's the case, that's a serious issue. Now, Nashville, before the outbreak, they had issues with scoring goals, only scoring 1 goal in 2 matches. But defensively, I was somewhat impressed. I think they held their own for the most part, but obviously it's tough to, keep a team off the score sheet when you can't really create an attack of your own. So I was really impressed by the way they were organized in the back and they were building out in the back. And I really think that they should have gotten at least a point in one of those 2 matches, but they did lose by 1. So regardless to what's going on with their outbreaks of coronavirus, I really didn't think that they had a strong enough team to even make it into the round of 16. So we will keep you up to date on what's going on as far as Nashville SC and their participation in this MLS is back tournament, but it's not looking so good. Regardless of what happens, I still think that Nashville are going to finish in last place. All right, let's move on to the next team. In 5th place, it was definitely a toss-up. It was definitely difficult for me to decide. But personally, I think that we will see the Chicago Fire finishing here in 5th place. Now, as we all know, going in 2020, Chicago, we're going through a completely new rebrand, changing the name of some sort. They went from Chicago Fire SC to Chicago Fire FC, changing the logo, the uniforms. Obviously, the logo has been a topic of debate amongst not only Chicago fans, but also fans league-wide in the MLS. It wasn't a good look at Chicago, I'm not gonna lie to you. And also changing the colors, which, made them look more like Real Salt Lake. To be perfectly honest with you, the problem with the Chicago Fire, other than, what was going on the pitch, which wasn't so good over the past couple of years, was the fact that they were playing still outside of the city of Chicago, in a suburb at 30 minutes outside of the city, which we know in MLS 1.0 and MLS 2.0, you definitely see that. You've seen that a lot going on, where teams build stadiums outside of the city simply because of money, and that was an issue. The problem wasn't the look of Chicago Fire. It was the play and where they were situated as far as their stadium. So they really didn't need to do this complete 180 of a rebrand for the Fire. But regardless, it happened. And they've done some things that I do like. Obviously, this is the post-Bastian Schweinsteiger era of Chicago Fire soccer. And, I think that they were trying to, like most other MLS teams, are trying to get away from, those big name DPs who are near the end of their careers. Bastian thing was really cool. Obviously, you have one of the best players in Bayern München's history as one of your DPs, but it really didn't amass to anything. And he couldn't play the position he was used to playing in his whole career, and they moved him out to center back, which was a little different for him. Listen, they did go out and get a DP striker and Robert Beric, a 29-year-old Slovenian striker who actually did come from Ligue 1 and Saint Etienne. And he's supposed to be the workload. And then behind him, obviously, you got CJ Sapong, which personally, I didn't understand the signing of a DP at the number 9 role. When you had CJ Sapong, listen, no bias here, because obviously, I'm a Union fan and I know what CJ Sapong has to offer, but you could have found maybe a legit midfielder that can push the attack forward. No offense, Fabian Herbers, again, I know him very well here in Philly. Alvaro Medran is okay. I still need to see more from him. But regardless, listen, Chicago are still going through this new rebuild. They're trying to turn the page from the Chicago Fire SC days. And I don't think that this is going to bode well for them trying to be successful within this tournament. So that's why I think that Chicago, in this new transitional year, not enough time to get ready. I believe the Chicago Fire will finish in 5th place here in Group A. In 4th place here, man, again, this was a toss between them and Chicago, and I got to go with Orlando City SC. Now, obviously, as we all know, Orlando City, since they've been, inaugurated in the MLS, have been the standard of losing, if we could say. Never made the playoffs. It doesn't help that their main rival is Atlanta United, who have really taken this league by storm in way less time. And again, they still seem to be stuck in MLS 2.0, going out and trying to find DPs that can get the fan base excited, and obviously Nani is that guy for them. I do think they have some nice pieces in the attack that makes them a viable team in this tournament. Obviously playing in Orlando, their home city, but it's not their home field. A lot of people are high on that, but I'm really not buying that as well. Although I don't think he can perform in this tournament, I think that they need to go out and go sign Michael Rangel from América de Cali, my hometown team in Colombia. But he probably won't be able to play within this tournament. So I just don't think that Orlando, as we like to say, Orlando is going to Orlando here, and I'm not really buying too much in this Orlando City team. And I think they will pull in Orlando as well, and they will finish in 4th, but I don't think that it will be enough to move on to the round of 16. In 3rd place here, we have Inter Miami here, the expansion club as well. But they're a little bit different than Nashville, because I think they actually have MLS caliber players. Obviously, you're talking about guys like Lee Nguyen, Roman Torres, and they even also have Will Trapp and Ben Sweat. These are players who have been there and done that in the MLS, so there's some veteran leadership there as well. You also have Rodolfo Pizarro, who is an absolute stud Mexican player. And you also have Diego Alonso, who's been there and done that with Monterrey down in Mexico. They won CONCACAF Champions League. So the pedigree is there. The key is they haven't had a lot of time to, gain some chemistry. And in this tournament, you got to come out firing. So I think that's where they're going to have their flaws. But I do like this team. And let's not mention that they signed LGP, Leonardo Gonzalez Perez. Unfortunately, he won't be able to play in this tournament. But dude, next season they can have Roman Torres and LGP as the center backs. That right there is the best center back pairing within the MLS. And listen, the Philadelphia Union got some pretty good pairs as well. All right, we're moving now into second place, and I might get some heat for this one, but in second place in Group A, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I got our Philadelphia Union finishing here in second. Listen, the first matchup between the Philadelphia Union and NYCFC, that's going to be really telling of what's going to happen within this group. I think the winner of that match is going to be the one that's going to be the champs of Group A. And it's quite simple here. And listen, we obviously know that the Union are going in this tournament as one of the heavy favorites. They're healthy. They have veteran leadership. They also have some good young players. The combination of both is really what you're going to need in this tournament here. I do like the Union's chances to go far in this tournament, but I just think in the group play, I feel like it might take some time. I don't know what's going to happen in that first match against NYCFC. And I'm not going to be mad if the Union finishes second and then go on a run in the group stages. Like that's ideally the situation that I would want for our Union, to not go into the round of 16 with all the pressure. Because if you win the group, the pressure's on you. Like, you got to do something in the round of 16. So I just think that I would rather see them finish in second and do their damage in the knockout round. But the thing is, too, is that after this NYCFC match, after that, you got both the expansion clubs in Nashville and Inter Miami. So I think that they have the best schedule out of any team within this tournament. Really feel confident with them, but I still think that they're going to finish in second place. In first place, I got New York City Football Club. Now, last season, I wrote them off, and I felt as if they were going through a transitional phase where, they lost David Villa. He was their leading goal scorer, and I thought that how the hell are they going to replace David Villa? And they proved me the hell wrong. I thought they were going to finish 6th place within the Eastern Conference. Those mother effers finished in first place in the Eastern Conference. So I've learned my lesson, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm not going to write NYCFC off this season. I think they will win this group. Even though they lost Dome Turan, who I think he deserves more credit than what people gave him for what he did with this NYCFC club. He did an absolutely fantastic job with the team. I think that they performed the way they did was a lot had to do with the leadership of what Dome did, implementing this philosophy they had. A typical Pep Guardiola team coming from the Pep Guardiola coaching tree, holding the possession, frustrating the hell out of teams. And we know in Philadelphia how much they can frustrate the hell out of the Philadelphia Union. And I still think that NYCFC still have a lot of good pieces. You're talking about Herbert, Maxi Morales, Alexander Matrita, Alex Ring. So although they do have a new manager, I think they still have a lot of the key pieces from last season. And new manager Ronnie Dyla still has the same philosophies that Dome Turan implemented within his team. So I think the combination of all that bodes well for NYCFC. And I think that they will have a good run in the group stages, and they will win this group. This group is not as easy as people may think on paper. Obviously, you have 2 expansion clubs, a Chicago Fire team that has not been good in the past couple of years, and Orlando City as well. Orlando City. and so a lot of people might write this off, but listen, in this tournament where teams have not played intense soccer in the past 4 months, anything can go in this tournament. But listen, at the end of the day, I still like what you saw in Europe within the Bundesliga, the Premier League, La Liga, and even Serie A. The teams that have the good quality players, have experience, are the ones, in my opinion, that are going to succeed in this tournament here. I think NYCFC and the Philadelphia Union both have experience, quality, and youth that is going to bode well for those teams. So I think that NYCFC win this group, with the Philadelphia Union finishing in second, Inter Miami finishing in third, Orlando City finishing in fourth, Chicago Fire finishing in fifth, and whether or not Nashville SC will compete in this tournament, I still think that they will finish in last place. But guys, that's all I got for you today as far as Group A goes. In the comments below, I want to hear from you. Let me know what you guys think will happen with the Chicago Fire with Group A within this tournament. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It means the world to me. But don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Philly Sports Network. This is your place for everything that has to do with Philadelphia sports. And you guys can also find me on Twitter at Parcero Philly, and you can also find me on YouTube as well at El Parcero Philly to get all of your hot takes in Philly sports, and of course to keep you up to date with the beautiful world of soccer. Again, guys, I go by the name of El Parcero Philly, and I'm telling you guys to do ball. See you next time.